Howdy, this is Marissa with Marissa Moments Apple. So if you want to know about that, just watch the video with the apple on it. Anyway, welcome to Oracle Tuesday, Tarot Tuesday, however you want to look at it. I will be using my personally created one-of-one Marissa Moments Oracle deck. So I'm going to speed this up and go on ahead and shuffle. Here we go. Okay, so a bunch of cards actually popped out at once. You saw it in the picture. Don't worry, I'm going to put it in at the end just in case there's more cards that ask to be pulled. But let's get straight into it. It tells you straight up, pay attention. Pay attention. And yes, all of this information is going to be right there. So then the next one says, kindness is free. Don't forget to spread it around. But then it came out in the reverse. So we're going to have to get into that a little bit, right? Wonder what that means. Challenge the damage. What? That's a new one. I haven't seen that one. And then in reverse, become your own best friend. Another one in reverse. Wait another day before making a decision in reverse. You're creating new and unnecessary obligations again. Ideas without action are like dreams. They disappear when you wake. And the bottom of the deck is don't make yourself the sacrificial lamb. Okay? So what does it all mean, Basil? Okay, let me tell you. Well, first and foremost, pay attention. I mean, Spirit coming out of the gate hot on this one. Pay attention. Whether that be to me, yes, pay attention, but also to your surroundings is what I receive. What I hear and what I see is almost like very what I refer to as a Lofton style, right? I knew someone who was always just kind of head in the clouds type situation. And every time they would walk around, all I would hear is, all the leaves are brown, right? And it was just kind of like, not really paying attention, or cognizant of what's going on around them. Now, there's nothing wrong with having that kind of freeing mentality or that demeanor. However, you have to be aware of your surroundings and you have to pay attention. And more specifically, as it relates to the signs and symbols that God, Gaia, ancestors, angels, and saints are sending you. Now, the next one is about kindness, right? And it's in reverse. So what I received behind that is that you're kind to your own detriment, right? Now, there's nothing wrong with being kind. That is, I encourage it. Yes, be kind. However, when it comes at your own expense, right? You have a tendency to be so kind and put yourself out there so much that you end up putting yourself in a place of deficit is what I receive. You're giving so much that you don't even have anything left for yourself. But what I receive behind that is, yes, be kind, but you have to understand that put limitations on yourself. What I hear is put limits on your kindness, which feels very like weird to even say for me, right? Because I'm like, what? I mean, kindness, just be kind, right? But no, what I hear is that if it's at the expense of your own mental, physical, and emotional health, then it is not truly a kindness of any sort, let alone to yourself or anyone else, because then that's going to put you in a space of deficit. You won't be able to continue to give, and you're going to start building up resentment. So you have to be mindful of the kindness that you put out, that you're not actually putting yourself in a place of deficit and resentment, right? Now, challenge the damage. I feel like these two actually go hand in hand, because what I receive is that the reason why you're so kind, so giving, so all of these types of things is because that's what you've been trained up to do, right? You noticed within your formative years that people would pay more attention to you if you did stuff for them, right? And so that's what trained your mind. That's what got you into the mindset. Sorry, my shirt is choking me. Of the fact that I have to give in order to be accepted is what I hear. But what Spirit is saying, you need to challenge that damage, right? It just rhymed. That's why it's on there like that. But challenge those toxic patterns is what I receive. Understand and know that if the reason why people are existing in your life is only because of what you can offer them, because of what you can give them, then they're not meant to be in your life after all. when you pull back and take care of yourself, still giving kindness and all of these types of things, but no longer allowing yourself to go into a space of deficit for the sake of keeping others, then you're going to be able to see who's actually there for you versus who's there for what you can do for them. Got that? Now, in reverse, this is interesting because become your own best friend in reverse. Let me see. Spirit, what does that even mean? Become your own best friend in reverse. I gotta pause y'all for a second so I can pick this up. Hold on. Okay, I actually had to pause for like 3 whole minutes, but I finally got it. So what Spirit is saying by putting this actual message in reverse is that you have a fear of allowing people in to a certain extent, right? Like you may have a lot of more so acquaintances necessarily than friends, right? And then even those friends, you have a fear of allowing them in close, even though you continue to do all of these types of things for them in order to keep them present, right? You feel like your present is what's going to keep them present, right? You picking up what I'm putting down, 'tis the season, right? But what I received behind this is it's safe to step away from yourself sometimes. Because what I receive is that, yes, you've made yourself your own best friend, which is beautiful. Everyone should do it. I encourage it. But at the same time is you've internalized things in such a way and you've been living in such a fear-based state that you have denied yourself the opportunity or potential to allow others in beyond a certain state. What I see is like somebody having a fence built up in front of them. Like, sure, there's some space to come up. You can always walk up to a fence, right? But after a certain point, if it's locked, then you're not going to be, people aren't going to be able to come any closer, right? You allow people in to a certain extent. And even with all that kindness you do, even with doing so much work for others, you're still like, I'm going to keep you at arm's length because I've been burned so bad. And that's what you've been programmed to do. But what I receive is that it's safe to allow other people to come in closer, especially once you start allowing your boundaries to speak for you, right? Once you start setting that expectation within yourself is what I receive, that you're no longer going to pay to play. Right? You're no longer going to have to foot the bill for everyone in order to participate in the activity. You're no longer going to have to put yourself out there in order to be welcome, right? You're no longer going to have to continue to invite yourself to places and spaces where people put you last or make you feel like you have to shift yourself. Okay, Spirit, come on through. And then what I hear is like, so this card says, wait another day before making a decision, but it's in reverse. And what I hear is that sometimes you wait too long. You overthink things, just like the situation with relationships and friendships. I feel like this is very relationship based, more so in terms of friendships in your circles and stuff like that, because those have been shifted so much. What I see is like circles, groups of people that have been not moved over, but there's a circle here. And then there's a circle here, and then there's a circle here, right? Because throughout your life, you've shifted into different circles, and each time you find yourself coming amongst the same type of crowd, though, right? It's almost like a mirror image of each other. So what I receive is that because you've been doing the inner work, because you've been focusing on your healing, and once you start allowing yourself the freedom and the knowledge of being safe within the fact that you do not have to pay in order to play. You do not have to purchase other people's friendships and all these types of things. Once you start putting boundaries up for yourself, not necessarily even for others, but for yourself, where you say, you know what, self, I don't have to do these things. I'm not going to do these things. Not, again, as a disclaimer, not to say that you don't be kind, right? But don't feel like you have to foot the bill every single time in order to maintain the relationships. You picking up what I'm putting down? Because it's safe to start having healthier friendships. It's safe to open up that gate that you've been putting in front of you and allow people that have the same mindset and the same goals and mentality, and not necessarily just the same, but that are in alignment with where you see yourself going. It's okay to do that. And don't feel like you have to overthink those people who are coming into your life, right? Don't overthink it. Let them in. It is okay. And Spirit is like going in on you on this one, because within the former relationships, you kept making unnecessary obligations and responsibilities for yourself. You might be having a habit of, you might be in the tendency or the trend of starting to do that again, and you're starting to feel very overwhelmed behind it. But what I receive is that you have to get into a place of solitude, become very mindful and still, and assess what it is that you are actually needing to do versus what you're giving yourself to do in addition. And then what Spirit is saying is that out of those things, make sure that you're focusing on the things that spark joy, the things that are helping within your ascension, within your goals. Now, aside from true and necessary obligations, because we all have them, that's life, like paying bills, right? We can't necessarily step away from paying our bills and say, it doesn't spark joy. Like, I feel you, right? I feel you, but you got to do what you got to do. But aside from that, what Spirit is saying is that make sure that along the way, you don't let go of your dreams. You continue to put action towards your dreams, that same energy that you used to use in order to pay to play. I don't know why Spirit keeps having me say that over and over. It must resonate with you. But the energy that you used to use in that, you need to be putting and applying towards your actual dreams, visions, and manifestations, right? Because ideas without action are like dreams. They disappear when you wake. So you have to put action behind your goals. And then last but not least, don't make yourself the sacrificial lamb. That's what you've been in the habit of doing, but that's what you're getting away from. Spirit is really working with you, wanting to make sure that you build authentic relationships that are organic and in direct alignment with where you see yourself going, as opposed to where you were and what you're trying to move away from. So that's it. No extra cards. Maybe I'll put one in at the end. So pay attention. Yeah, tomato. Bye. Okay, so I had one extra bonus card. Take care of yourself. So this is, I'm just going to throw in there. And what I received, because my foot and my legs started falling asleep so bad, y'all, you might have circulation issues, right? You might notice that you're getting all this tingling sensation. Something with the blood is what I receive. But what you need, you need to not be afraid to look into the things. What I received to share with you is that just because you look into and seek help for yourself doesn't create the problem in and of itself. It actually creates the opportunity to heal, because if we don't pay attention, if we don't acknowledge the fact that we are in pain, that we do have wounds, then we will never allow ourselves to get to the space and place of actual healing. So denial is not where you want to be. Take care of yourself. This is very, very specific. I'm telling you, my foot and my leg keeps falling asleep. So maybe you also have like, what I hear is like restless leg syndrome. I see somebody needing to go to physical therapy, and I see something that has to do with circulation, the blood, all of these things. And I keep hearing diet as well. Diet is always something that sticks in there. So when that resonates, know and trust and believe that this is in fact for you. Yes, Spirit is coming for you with the message through me. So don't forget, take care of yourself. And that's it, for real, tomato.